Hi guys, it's Graham. Me again, and I just saw this little thing is still here. That's very strange because I went for a big long walk. I wore a hat. I had a sweatshirt on before, but that little thing is still there. Crazy. Graham has some crazy hair sometimes. I have been saying I'm going to read Winnie the Pooh for a long time, and I'm trying to clean up all these books that I borrowed from friends, so I'm going to read a Winnie the Pooh book. And then if you watch it someday, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. This one is called Winnie-the-Pooh and Tigger. I'm guessing it's like one of the early books, right? Because it doesn't have a major theme going on. And you have my Winnie the Pooh, so I can't show you any stuffed animals or anything because I gave it to you. So here is Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. And who's that? Piglet. Remember, this book has lots of words, so Graham might have to hold it like this and then show you the pictures, because look at all those words on that page. And that's not even all of it. I'll try my best to hold it like this and see how Graham does. All right, we'll make the picture a little bigger. There's a kangaroo. Is that person? Yeah, that's called Kanga, right? I don't know Winnie the Pooh stories too well, but that's called Kanga. Now it happened that Kanga had felt rather motherly that morning, and wanting to count things like Rue's vests and how many pieces of soap there were left and the 2 clean spots in Tigger's feeder, so she had sent them out with a packet of watercress sandwiches for Rue and a packet of extract of malt sandwiches for Tigger, to have a nice long morning in the forest, not getting into mischief. And off they had gone. So basically, they're going for a little walk and they're bringing some snacks with them. And as they went, Tigger told Rue, who wanted to know all about the things that Tiggers could do. That's Rue, right? Is that Kanga's baby? I guess. I don't really know Winnie the Pooh stories, and this is Tigger. I know that. I do know that. As they went, Tigger told Rue, who wanted to know, all about the things that Tiggers could do. Can they fly? Asked Rue. Yes, said Tigger, they're very good flyers. Oh, said Rue, can they fly as well as Owl? Yes, said Tigger, only they don't want to. Why don't they want to? Well, they just don't like it somehow. Rue couldn't understand this because he thought it would be lovely to be able to fly. But Tigger said it was difficult to explain to anybody who wasn't a tiger himself. Well, said Rue, can they jump as far as Kangas? Yes, said Tigger, when they want to. I love jumping, said Rue. Let's see who can jump further. I can, said Tigger, but we mustn't stop now or we shall be late. Late for what? For whatever we want to be in time for, said Tigger, hurrying on. That's kind of silly. In a little while they came to the 6 pine trees. I can swim, said Rue. I fell into the river and I swimmed. Can Tigger swim? Of course they can. Tiggers can do everything. Can they climb trees better than Pooh? Asked Rue, stopping under the tallest pine tree and looking up at it. Climbing trees is what they do best, said Tigger. Much better than Pooh's. Could they climb this one? They're always climbing trees like that, said Tigger, up and down all day. Ooh, Tigger, are they really? I'll show you, and you can sit on my back and watch me. Ooh, Tigger, Tigger, squeaked Rue excitedly, so he sat on Tigger's back and up they went. And for the first 10 feet, Tigger said happily to himself, up we go. There he is climbing a tree, just like Levi likes to do. And for the next 10 feet, he said, I always said Tiggers could climb trees. And for the next 10 feet, he said, not that it's easy, mind you. And for the next 10 feet, he said, of course, there's the coming down too, backwards. Oh dear, there they are, with Rue on his back. And then he said, which will be difficult unless one fell when it would be easy. And as the word easy, the branch he was standing on broke suddenly, and he just managed to clutch at the one above him as he felt himself going. And then slowly he got his chin over it, and then one back paw, and then the other, until at last he was sitting on it. Look at that. They saved themselves from falling. Oh, Tigger, we are at the top. No, said Tigger. Are we going to the top? No, said Tigger. Oh, said Roo rather sadly. And then he went on hopefully. That was a lovely bit just now when you pretended we were going to fall, bump to the bottom, and we didn't. Will you do that bit again? No, said Tigger. By and by, Pooh and Piglet came along. Look, Pooh, said Piglet. Suddenly, there's something in one of the pine trees. So there is, said Pooh. There's an animal. Pooh, cried Piglet, I believe it's Tigger and Roo. So it is, said Pooh. Hello, Roo. What are you doing? We can't see them yet in the tree, can we? There they are. There's the friends. Well, there's Piglet. We can't get down. We can't get down, cried Roo. Isn't it fun? Pooh, isn't it fun? Tigger and I are living in a tree like Owl, and we're going to stay here forever and ever. I can see Piglet's house. Piglet, I can see your house. Aren't we high? Is Owl's house as high as this? How did you get there, Roo? Asked Piglet. On Tigger's back. And Tiggers can climb downwards because their tails get in the way. They can't climb downwards, only upwards. And Tigger forgot about that when we started, and he's only just remembered. So we've got to stay here forever and ever. Piglet, said Pooh solemnly when he heard all this, what shall we do? And he began to eat Tigger's sandwiches. Remember they brought sandwiches with them? Are they stuck? Asked Piglet anxiously. Pooh nodded. Couldn't you climb up to them? I might, Piglet, and I might bring Roo down on my back, but I couldn't bring Tigger down, so we must think of something else. And he started to eat the sandwiches. Whether he would have thought of anything before he had finished the last sandwich, I don't know, but he had just got to the last one when there was a crackling in the bracken, and Christopher Robin and Eeyore came strolling along. Christopher Robin and Eeyore. There's the bow in Eeyore's tail. I shouldn't be surprised if it hailed a good deal tomorrow, Eeyore was saying. Blizzards and whatnot. Being fine today doesn't mean anything. It has no sig. What's that word? Well, it has none of that. It's just a small piece of weather. There's Pooh, said Christopher Robin, who didn't much mind what it did tomorrow, as long as he was out in it. Hello, Pooh. It's Christopher Robin, said Piglet. He'll know what to do. Oh, Christopher Robin, began Pooh. And Eeyore, said Eeyore. Tigger and Roo are right up the 6 pine trees, and they can't get down. And I was just saying, put in Piglet, that if only Christopher Robin and Eeyore, if only you were here, then we could think of something to do. I thought, said Piglet, that if Eeyore stood on the bottom of the tree, and if Pooh stood on Eeyore's back, and if I stood on Pooh's shoulders, and if Eeyore's back snapped suddenly, then we would all laugh, ha 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 ha, amusing in a quiet way, said Eeyore, but not really helpful. I've got an idea, said Christopher Robin suddenly. What's his idea going to be? Listen to this, Piglet, said Eeyore, and then you'll know what we're trying to do. I'll take off my tunic, that's the shirt, and we'll each hold a corner, and then Roo and Tigger can jump into it, and it will be all soft and bouncy for them, and they won't hurt themselves. Getting Tigger down, said Eeyore, and not hurting anybody. Keep those 2 ideas in your head, Piglet, and you'll be all right. You think that's going to work? They're going to jump into his shirt or onto his shirt. They're stretching it out. Oop, look at him. He jumped off the tree. When Roo understood what he had to do, he was wildly excited. Tigger, Tigger, we're going to jump. Look at me jumping, like flying. I'm coming, Christopher Robin, and he jumped straight into the middle of the tunic. Remember, that's another word for shirt. And he was going so fast that he bounced up again almost as high as where he was before, and went on bouncing and saying, ooh, for quite a long time. And then at last he stopped and said, ooh, lovely. And they put him on the ground. Come on, Tigger, he called out. It's easy. Oh, so he made it. And there's Tigger. You think he's going to jump? Oh, we can see. Tigger was holding on to the branch and saying to himself, it's all very well for jumping animals like kangas, but it's quite different for swimming animals like tigers or tiggers. And he thought of himself floating on his back down a river. Come along, said Christopher Robin. You'll be all right. Just wait a minute, said Tigger nervously. Small piece of bark in my eye. And he moved slowly across the branch. Come on, it's easy, squeaked Roo. And suddenly Tigger found how easy it was. Ow, he shouted as the tree flew past him. Look out, cried Christopher Robin to the others. There was a crash and a tearing noise and a confused heap of everybody on the ground. Christopher Robin and Pooh and Piglet picked themselves up first, and then they picked Tigger up, and underneath everybody else was Eeyore. Oh, Eeyore, cried Christopher Robin, are you hurt? And he felt him rather anxiously and dusted him and helped him to stand up again. Eeyore said nothing for a long time, and then he said, is Tigger there? Tigger was there, feeling bouncy again already. Yes, said Christopher Robin, Tigger's here. Well, just thank him for me, said Eeyore. The end. That's how the book ended. Look at that. That's awfully sad. Remember I said I'm borrowing this book from somebody else, and her child, whose book this was, took crayons and scribbled in it. That's not so good. It's good to scribble in a coloring book, right, or a workbook, but one of your books that you own, not so good. Graham doesn't like to scribble in her books. I would never scribble in a book. But somebody did, but it's not my book. I'm going to put it in the bag for that lady and give it back to her. Her bag is somewhere. So you tell me if you liked that book, and if you did, I got 3 more Winnie-the-Poohs, and I'm going to read you a Sesame Street book too. All right, love you peoples a lot, and I'll see you soon.